In today's news, BVI legislators to get comprehensive private health insurance for 5 years.
We also see CCT launching FIYAH, that is fiber in your home and areas, CCT Live as well.
Heavy police presence observed in rural town during a medical visit for Prisoner Nyron Erickson.
We also see government officials submitting incomplete documents to the Commission of Inquiry during the recent sitting. All that and so much more on today's edition of 284 News.
The win.
What in the hell?
I'm freaking out.
Is about these people.
It's always a pleasure coming to you live and direct from the
What's poppin', what's really good?
Davis has won it for the Lakers.
A warm 284 welcome to one and all. It is Friday, June 4, 2021, and we are coming to you live out of 284 Media. My name is Javon Wilson.
And I'm Ron Grant. A happy Friday is wished to each and every one of you. We want to begin today's newscast with a very positive and enlightening note. Earlier this week, a senior student of the Elmore Stout High School saw a local resident attempting to cross the intersection in the area of Red Cross. She took his hand and escorted him safely across. Now, the moment, which was caught by a driver who shared the photo with our newsroom, speaks to the true nature of our Virgin Islands children. She saw someone in need, and she readily made herself available to his aid. Now, today we salute this young lady and all the other students who go above and beyond and conduct themselves, of course, in a respectable manner, representing, of course, the BVI and showing what we know as true BVI love. Now, we caught up with a principal of the Elmore Stout High School, Mrs. Vanessa Garraway, who was so honored to be able to offer us a statement. Now, in her official comments, she said, and I quote, "It warms my heart to witness such humanity in our community, especially being one of my Elmore Stout High School students. Despite all the negative comments that are frequently shared on social media about the school, this is a testimony that our school and our parents are instilling values and grooming sincere and productive students." Again, I want to commend Suland for her public display of kindness and hopefulness in our community. Jovan, quite a ray of hope. Love it, love it, love it.
Absolutely the best highlight of the
Yes.
week, I must say, for 284 Media. And I think just the ray of hope that we needed in the BVI, like the principal said, and like we rightly said within the post earlier this week, we have to continue to acknowledge the good in our young people, and what she did was simply remarkable and testament to the fact that our young people are really growing up with the values that we need them to have.
Absolutely. Now, continuing viewers on a local scene, in a very shocking turn of events for residents of the BVI, the government of the Virgin Islands in a recent tender notice is inviting proposals from any Virgin Islands licensed insurance company for a group health insurance plan to provide comprehensive coverage for all House of Assembly members for a period of 5 years with an option to renew annually. Now, this means that all sitting members of the House of Assembly of the Virgin Islands will have access to comprehensive private health insurance outside of the National Health Insurance Plan known as NHI. Now, the terms of the proposed plans provided to health insurance providers wishing to be a part of the tendering process includes a list of some 41 areas that cover a comprehensive medical scenarios, from coverage to pre-existing conditions, major medical insurance, worldwide 24-hour-a-day coverage, to cosmetic surgery in the event of an accident, and much more. Now, tenders are encouraged to elaborate thoroughly on their preferred provider network coverage to include international care in the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Caribbean, South America, United States of the Virgin Islands, United States of America, British Virgin Islands, and of course, Puerto Rico. Additionally, tenders are required to furnish a number of original or notarized copies of documents showing good standing. A virtual pre-tender meeting via WebEx is scheduled for Wednesday, June 9th, 2021 at 10 a.m. All prospective tenders will be notified of the access code and password prior to the meeting. All prospective tenders are invited to attend. Now, of course, viewers, the National Health Insurance Scheme, known as the NHI, is a form of national health insurance established by the government of the British Virgin Islands through the Ministry of Health, with a goal to provide access to and financial coverage for healthcare services to all British Virgin Islanders and residents. A national health insurance scheme was first considered in 2006, but it took over a decade to come into fruition. Now, it eventually came into effect on January 1st, 2016. When the National Health Insurance Scheme came into effect in 2016, residents of the Virgin Islands were forced to be limited to the NHI as it is mandatory, with many exiting their private health insurance agreements that were mostly offered through employment, as employers no longer saw the need. NHI provided an opportunity for many residents who did not have insurance or could not ordinarily afford insurance to have access to health insurance coverage. Now, the cost of the proposed health insurance coverage for all House of Assembly members is not yet known, but does move to secure private. But viewers are wondering, does the move to secure private health insurance for all House of Assembly members show the government's lack of confidence in the existing national health insurance? Residents who are of the Virgin Islands are now focused on the national health insurance, which in many cases limits them and their coverage, while legislators receive comprehensive health coverage. Jovan, this story once published caused quite a frenzy and concern to residents across the Virgin Islands, and of course, by warrant. Many of them are concerned to the timing. Of course, this story follows a previous story where legislators and their retirement salaries have been amended. So we see where in the midst of COVID-19, in the midst of a global pandemic, in the midst of a lot of hardships that we're facing in our local economy, our lawmakers are finding a way to make sure that certain measures are put in place that seemingly to the general public only benefits them, and it's causing grave concern.
And it seems even a bigger slap in the face when the needs of the population are not being addressed.
Yes.
Now, for quite a number of years, residents in the BVI have been really calling for the reform of NHI because right now, as it is right now, they're not realistically meeting the needs, the medical needs of the population. And that's one of the questions posed to the minister right after the story was published, to see if there's anything in the works, being that such a decision has been made for politicians. What about the people? What is good for the goose is supposed to be good for the gander, right? And in this case, we're seeing that the needs of the population are not necessarily being addressed in this way. Governments in, governments out, but we do see the government finding a way to secure themselves beyond serving.
Was being reciprocated from the general public.
Right. Whereas, as we move on, a very positive story now. Earlier today, CCT, a leading wireless telecommunications provider here in the Virgin Islands, launched their newest product, FIYAH, which now affords residents the opportunity to get blazing speed fiber at their businesses or in the comfort of their homes. Well, it was quite a proud moment for CCT, the entire CCT family, of course, under the leadership of CEO Mr. Avret Penn, who spoke to the incredible milestone. Listen in.
I just want to say that this is a really great day for CCT, a really proud moment as we've continued to try to expand our services and continue to try to do everything that we can within the telecommunications market to really look beyond the shores of the BVI to what first class, your biggest and best telecommunications companies do, and try to bring that same service here to us within the BVI. That's been our mission all along, and we're really proud to continue along this mission, and this is just the next logical step for us. We've had a robust wireless network for many years. We've transitioned from a company where it just had voice service some years ago to being a major data provider within the BVI. And now the next step of this real progress is to have a wired network to complement that wireless service, as we continue to try to increase capacity, increase speeds, to give the consumers and the public what they want. What the government has asked us in trying to bring first-class telecommunications to the BVI, what the public demands. And that's what we've been trying to do, and this is a lot of hard work that's happened behind the scenes. The minister and Ron both mentioned coming back from the hurricanes of 2017. This is also a day that I would be remiss if I didn't say this is a triumph for telecommunications within the BVI. I also want to say really quickly that this is a product where we are getting assistance and doing in conjunction with the BVI cable TV. which was a company which was devastated after the storms as well. And this is the reconstruction and reimagination of that wired telecommunications product within the BVI. And we're really proud to bring that to the community. And I think you're going to continue to see more exciting things from us. We have a media brand that we're also doing in conjunction with this. We have international channels that we're rebroadcasting. We have the CNNs, the ESPNs, the ABCs, and now we also on top of that have gigabit speed right to your home with a wired infrastructure. So this is a really proud moment for us as we continue to expand and really continue to grow our telecommunications brand and technology.
That is the current CEO of CCT, now acting premier, as well as the Minister for Education and Culture, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, who also happens to be a very proud customer of the homegrown company, gave warm congratulations and spoke eloquently to BVI Pride. Listening.
Because CCT is competing in a market where we have billion-dollar companies and companies who have markets across the globe. And I would say it's phenomenal that CCT has been able to continue to offer services which are on par with those companies, despite the fact just being here in our local market. And that's a source of great pride for me. And it's an example, in my view, to the business community that we can compete on a global level. I congratulate CCT on the launching of FIYAH, and looking forward to getting my own FIYAH in my home with the wired network, as well as continuing to support the wireless network. We know that media has evolved over the years. I believe CCT is certainly modernizing and getting up with the times, making sure they have a wireless and a wired network. I also want to congratulate CCT for having a genuine media company that's raised the bar in this particular area. And I continue to encourage CCT to continue to do their best to represent themselves as a Virgin Islands company and a company with great potential to even expand in the region.
Now, viewers, we also caught up with the sales manager at CCT, Mr. Jamali Thomas, who said that reaching this milestone didn't come without its challenges. He acknowledged the diligent efforts of the staff and said it is time for the BVI residents to get excited. He also offered us a very short demonstration of what the CCT Live product looks like. So take a look. A remarkable job.
Thank you.
With demonstrating what this new product will look like. But let's begin with what today means for CCT. Quite a monumental day as CCT continues to expand its services to the residents of the British Virgin Islands. What does that mean to the team here at CCT?
It means a lot. It means it's a big deal for us because this is something that we envisioned launching, I would say, a year ago.
Yes.
And we've had a lot of setbacks and a lot of hardships from the hurricane to different things. I mean, I won't go into too much detail today, but we've been putting a lot of late nights in, a lot of early mornings, working very hard to get this product out. And I told my boss last week, I'm ready to go.
Yes.
I'm just waiting for you to launch it. So the sales staff is fired up. I'm fired up. We're excited to announce this product. You know, it's like that secret that you've been having for a long time. And you're like a little kid and you want to tell everybody. And now I can literally go door to door and tell everybody that this product is here. And I expect to see me in your neighborhood. Expect to see me knocking on your door because I'm literally coming to your door and I say, hey, come and get this product because it's such a really good product. You know, I've been using the TV product for the last month and a half, and you know, it's like the transition has been seamless. You know, we've been for a long time starved of having that live TV.
Yes.
Old antiquated TV guide where you change to channel 3 and you wait for the TV guide to come up. You have a very interactive TV guide where you can press in, change the different views of it. So if you want to view it this way, here, you could go through and select it that way. But we also have another cool version of it a different way. And this way it shows the channel view, and you can go down and different programming and stuff like that. All right, so we have a different way of seeing the TV guide, a more up-to-date, more modern way of seeing.
So viewers, as you heard, the CCT Live product now gives customers access to all of their favorite international as well as local television channels, of course, including 284 Media and a growing lineup of local programming on your home TV or right there in the palm of your hand. Now, FIYAH, as of today, is providing unparalleled high internet speed up to 1 gigabyte per second to their homes. I know a lot of people in the BVI have been asking for it. It's finally here. It's fresh, it's clean, and it's certainly cutting edge. So huge congratulations to the CCT family as they continue to improve services here in the Virgin Islands.
Still ahead, viewers, the COI hearing reveals that government officials submitted incomplete documents, and Clearlie Brown-Turnbull is the new Registrar of Interest. All this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Father Jesus, that line you long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Over there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top-Up Turn-Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top-Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News. Now, more local news. Persons in the vicinity of the CCT flagship store on Waterfront Drive, Tortola, were today caught by surprise when the presence of 2 police vehicles and armed officers of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force were seen in operation. Now, our reporter, Mr. Kamal Haynes, was actually at the scene and observed that the officers were escorting prisoner Nyron Erickson to a nearby medical facility, but details surrounding the reason for the medical visit remains unknown. Now, after approximately an hour, he returned from the medical facility where he was escorted into Her Majesty's prison, a vehicle which was followed by 2 other police vehicles. Erickson is accused of charges relating to conspiracy to launder monetary instruments from outside of the United States and conspiracy to conceal more than $10,000 from outside the U.S. Now, these charges, according to court documents, have led to Erickson being indicted by a grand jury in the U.S., where he faces the possibility of being extradited. His other co-accused are now set to be in custody in the United States. Now, the 28-year-old made headlines across the BVI on numerous occasions back in 2020 after he was on the run from local police for approximately 7 months, evading police on 3 separate occasions, according to court documents. Now, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Mrs. Tiffany Scatlis Esperin, in her presentation during the court sitting back in August of 2020, outlined the occasions Erickson avoided being apprehended by members of the police force. The first was in January 2020 at the Curve nightclub on Mayor's Hill, the second at Belmont Estate in West End, while the third was at George's North Side. Now, Erickson is also accused of traveling to Anguilla, where neither the immigration departments of Anguilla or the BVI were made aware at the time. He was recently denied bail at his High Court appearance in March of this year after Justice Richard Floyd denied the application due to his concerns on Erickson's likelihood of possibly fleeing the territory. Erickson remains on remand at Her Majesty's Prison in Balsam Scott.
And continuing on, Mrs. Clearlie Brown-Turnbull, a native of the Virgin Islands with some 15 consecutive years of management experience in the public service, has been appointed Registrar of Interest effective June 1st. Established by the Registrar of Interest Act of 2006, the Registrar is tasked with documenting the financial interests and liabilities of elected members of the House of Assembly, along with serving as clerk of the Standing Finance Committee, Select Committee of the House of Assembly, that is. The Registrar was appointed by Governor John J. Ranking in keeping with Section 112 of the Virgin Islands Constitution. On confirming her appointment, the Governor of the Virgin Islands, Mr. John Ranking, said Mrs. Brown-Turnbull will bring valuable insight and experience to the post of Registrar of Interest, and I look forward to her being effective at improving good governance in the territory. He recognized Mrs. Brown-Turnbull's experience in management and her familiarity with the process and procedures of government, making her particularly well qualified for this particular post. Deputy Governor of the Virgin Islands, Mr. David D. Archer, Jr., welcomed the newly appointed Registrar of Interest and said Mrs. Brown-Turnbull has a track record as a leader and change maker. He said during her time at the Department of Human Resources, Mrs. Brown-Turnbull was instrumental in establishing the unit now known as the Employee Relations Unit, which supports the Employee Assistance Program, establishing the Employee Award Program and other initiatives that contributed to the effective management of the public service. I am once again proud to see the high quality of leaders coming through the public service, Mr. Archer said. Now, viewers, Mrs. Brown-Turnbull holds a Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Administration with a concentration in management from the Jersey City State University in New Jersey, USA, as well as other certificates in various educational and technical disciplines. Mrs. Brown-Turnbull held the post of Employee Relations Manager with the Government's Department of Human Resources from 2002 until 2016, where her major responsibilities included advocating for her fellow public officers, formulating annual work plans, and generating statistical reports to improve management operations. Both the Governor and the Deputy Governor said they were grateful for the dedicated service of Mrs. Victorine Romney-Varlak, who was appointed the territory's first Registrar of Interest in 2008. In the 13 years Mrs. Romney-Varlak served as Registrar, she was responsible for setting up the office, creating the territory's first registry, and actively advised legislators on ways to make the office of the Registrar of Interest more effective. Her efforts in this regard are greatly appreciated, and well wishes are extended to her in her future endeavors. Now, viewers, up next, a walk through the valley by Mrs. Andria Flax, stories of Virgin Islands' golden population. All this and so much more after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 News.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works. Gentlemen, aspiring gentlemen, and our partners that hold us down. It's season 2 of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, taking you on the most inspiring journey with the best and brightest distinguished gentlemen of the BVI. Raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men like you've never seen them before. Governor Augustus J.U. Jaspert, Jovan Klein, Neil Klein, and so much more. Turning modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen with yours truly, Ron Grant, a 284 Media production. Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too, offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
Welcome back, viewers. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Now, as we move on the local scene, we see coming out of the Commission of Inquiry, documents submitted by the government of the Virgin Islands to assist with the Commission of Inquiry investigations have been deemed incomplete. Now, this is according to the COI's commissioner, Sir Gary Hickenbottom, who made the statement during the inquiry's first live hearing on YouTube on Wednesday. Now, Sir Hickenbottom was referring to documents submitted by a May 20th hearing, which he said were not a full representation of the information requested. Mr. Hickenbottom said, and I quote, "The initial COI hearings held in May, to which I have already referred, confirmed that the documents produced were significantly incomplete and generally in very poor order. Often it was impossible to ascertain the story that they told." He continued, "For example, I heard evidence from witnesses over several days on the BVI government contract in respect to the radar barges that simply to try and understand how those contracts might have come into being. Even now, the COI does not have a full set of the relevant documents," he explained. Now, the Attorney General's attorney confirms discrepancies in the documents. Sir Hickenbottom further said that the Attorney General's legal representation, Queen's Counsel Sir Geoffrey Cox, also confirmed the poor keeping of the government's documents, which has slowed down the investigation process. He said, and I quote, "After hearing on the 20th of May, Sir Geoffrey Cox's Queen's Counsels on behalf of the Attorney General frankly and properly conceded that the BVI government's file are in severe disarray." And that, he said, largely explained why the documents produced by the COI had been in such very poor order. That inevitably has had a serious adverse impact on the progress of the COI, Sir Hickenbottom stated. Now, the commissioner also revealed that he requested a signed affidavit from all government members who were summoned on May 20th. According to him, the affidavit would confirm that all measures were exhausted to ensure the relevant documents were indeed submitted. However, the deadline period of May 31st to submit the affidavits was extended following a request from the Attorney General. He said, and I quote, "I directed that those assurances be supported by an affidavit by the Attorney General or a senior member of her team confirming that, in her view, that reasonable steps have been taken to ensure the documents produced are complete." End of quote. Now, viewers, the Attorney General will have now up until June 7th to lodge the relevant affidavits on behalf of the government members and public officials.
On a very wonderful note, local author Mrs. Andria Flax has said that her new book, titled A Walk Through the Valley, tells stories of Virgin Islands' golden population. The book begins in the 1800s and leads us up to present day while traveling to La Cremière de la Cremière, centenarians, upper non-generations and lower non-generations. Mrs. Flax said, and I quote, "The literary piece celebrates the golden population that has breezed through 70 years, and 10 will definitely take the reader on a nostalgic trip down memory lane." She said, "If you are lucky enough to have an elderly relative around, you are truly blessed." Now adding that while cherishing these golden gems, take time to sit with them, listen to them, and learn from them. It is important that you also document their stories for prosperity. Now, Deputy Director of Culture, Miss Ann Leonard, said the Department of Culture is honored to partner with the local author for the upcoming release of her newest book that focuses on the Virgin Islands centenarians and seniors. Mrs. Leonard said, and I quote, "It is timely, as in many countries these days, much focus is placed on youths in our communities. Oftentimes those who have been our nation builders are either overlooked or forgotten. The book is a must-read and a definite keepsake." Of course, we here at 284 Media love to collect local authors. We have a very solid library, and of course we will be getting this, and we encourage you to also get it. Viewers, another week of fantastic jam-packed content at 284 News. I'm Ron Grant.
And my name is Javon Wilson. I want to thank you so much for making time to sit with us throughout the week, of course, for your local, regional, as well as international content. It's always our pleasure to deliver honest and impartial news right here on 284 News. Do join us on Monday, and of course, enjoy the weekend. My name is Javon Wilson, encouraging you to have a blessed and wonderful weekend. Take care.